Let me describe a situation and tell me if it sounds familiar. You meet a girl, there's a spark, or at least you think there is. You start talking, you're funny, you're attentive, you're interested in her life. She seems to enjoy your company. She laughs at your jokes. She shares personal things with you. You text pretty regularly. Maybe you even hang out one-on-one and you think, okay, this is building towards something. So you wait for the right moment. You keep being patient. You keep being supportive. You keep being the good guy. And then one day she mentions another guy she's seeing, or she calls you her best friend, or she asks your advice about her dating life, and your stomach drops. Because somehow, without ever saying no, she's put you in a box you can't get out of. The friend zone. Most guys think the friend zone happens because they aren't hot enough or rich enough or tall enough. They think if they just looked better, she would have wanted them. That's not true. The friend zone isn't about your face, it's about your behavior. And the painful truth is you probably walked yourself right into that box step by step without ever realizing it was happening. Today, I want to show you how, not in a numbered list, not in a quick fix, but in a real honest way that might actually change how you move with women from now on. Let me start with a question. When was the last time you disagreed with a girl you liked? Not about something big and political, just something small. She says her favorite band is overrated. You actually love that band. Do you say something, or do you just nod and change the subject? She says a movie you love is boring. Do you push back playfully, or do you go along with it to avoid conflict? Most guys, when they like a woman, become the most agreeable version of themselves. They say yes to everything. They laugh at every joke. They pretend to like things they don't. They think they're being nice, but what they're actually doing is removing their personality from the interaction. And a person with no edges, no opinions, no playful friction is not a romantic prospect. That's a friend, a safe, comfortable, boring friend. Women are not looking for a man who agrees with everything they say. That feels like talking to a mirror. There's no tension, no spark, no chemistry. Chemistry requires two distinct energies rubbing against each other. When you sand down all your rough edges to make her comfortable, you become invisible. Not because you're mean or ugly, because there's nothing for her to push against. She can't feel your masculinity if you're constantly bending to her opinions. Here's another pattern I see all the time. Guys who are trying to avoid the friend zone actually accelerate right into it by being too available. You know what I'm talking about. She texts, you reply in 30 seconds. She says she's bored. You offer to hang out. She mentions a problem. You drop everything to help. On the surface, this seems like good behavior. It seems like you're showing up. But here's what it signals to her subconscious. It signals that you have nothing else going on, that your time is not valuable, that your attention is cheap, and things that are cheap, abundant, always available, people don't value. That's just human psychology. When you're always there, you become furniture, background noise, a fixture she can count on, but not someone she feels excited about. Think about the guys women actually get obsessed with. Are they always available? No. They have lives. They have things going on. They don't reply instantly because they're in the middle of something. They don't drop their plans because she's free. They fit her into their schedule, not the other way around. And that scarcity, that sense that his time and attention are valuable, makes her want more of it. The friend zone guy gives his attention away for free. The man she wants makes her earn it, not through games, through genuinely having a life that doesn't revolve around her. Let me go even deeper. The friend zone doesn't happen when she rejects you. It happens when you never actually put yourself in a position to be rejected. Most guys are so afraid of losing the connection, of making things awkward, of hearing the word no, that they never clearly communicate romantic interest. They hover, they orbit, they're present, they're helpful, they're funny, but they never actually say, hey, I like you more than a friend. So she assumes you're just a friend because that's what your behavior has been telling her. She can't read your mind. She only sees what you show her. And if you show her friendship behavior, she'll give you friendship in return. Then you get frustrated when she dates someone else. But how was she supposed to know? You never took the risk. You never made your intention clear. I know why you don't, because it's scary. Because if you say something and she doesn't feel the same way, the dynamic changes. You might lose access to her. And that loss feels worse than the limbo of hoping. But here's the thing, limbo is already a loss. It's just a slower, more painful one. You're already not getting what you want. You're already investing emotional energy into something that's going nowhere. The only difference is in limbo, you can pretend there's still a chance, but pretending doesn't create attraction. Action does. Even if the action leads to a no, at least you're free. At least you can move on. And sometimes when you make your move confidently, even if she wasn't sure before, she starts seeing you differently, because a man who knows what he wants and goes after it is attractive. A man who hides and hopes is not. Let me tell you about a specific behavior that almost guarantees the friend zone. It's called emotional caretaking without romantic intent. You listen to all her problems. You hold space for her tears. You give advice about her toxic ex. You become her therapist, her diary, her shoulder to cry on. And all of that feels intimate to you. You think, wow, she's really opening up. This must mean something. But here's the brutal truth. Women open up emotionally to their friends. That's what friends are for. When you provide all the emotional support without any romantic tension, without any physical escalation, without any clear flirting, you become her girlfriend with a different body. And she will love you for that. As a friend, she will tell you you're amazing. She will say she doesn't know what she'd do without you. And then she will go home to a guy who doesn't listen to her problems, but who makes her feel something, who challenges her, who isn't always available, who doesn't let her dump all her emotional weight on him. That hurts to hear. I know, but you need to hear it, because the solution isn't to become cold or uncaring. The solution is to stop over-functioning emotionally. When she has a problem, you can listen, but don't jump in to solve it. Don't spend hours dissecting her feelings. Say, that's rough. You'll figure it out though. And then change the subject. Lead the interaction somewhere lighter. Keep the tone between you playful, flirty, fun. Save the deep emotional processing for when you're actually in a relationship. In the early stages, too much emotional caretaking kills attraction. It puts you in the friend zone faster than anything else. Now, I want to talk about something that might surprise you. Sometimes the friend zone exists because you put yourself there on purpose, not consciously, but because being in the friend zone is safer than being in a real relationship. When you're just her friend, you don't have to risk rejection. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be vulnerable about your own feelings. You can just orbit and hope. And that feels safe, but safety doesn't create passion. Risk does. You have to be willing to lose her to have any chance of keeping her. That's the paradox. The moment you become willing to walk away, to state your intentions, to make your move and accept whatever answer comes, you become infinitely more attractive, not because you're playing games, because you're acting like a man who knows his worth. A man who knows his worth doesn't lurk in the friend zone. He goes after what he wants, and if it's not reciprocated, he leaves with his dignity intact. So here's what I want you to take from this. If you're currently in a situation where you're stuck in the friend zone, or you keep ending up there with different women, stop looking at your face in the mirror. Start looking at your behavior. Are you too agreeable? Stop. Express your real opinions. Are you too available? Stop. Get busy with your own life. Are you doing all the emotional labor without any romantic escalation? Stop. Pull back. Let her come to you. Are you hiding your romantic interest because you're afraid of losing her? Stop. Make your move. Say the words, I like you, more than a friend. If she says no, you walk away clean. If she says yes, you're out of the friend zone forever. Either way, you win. The friend zone is not a place she puts you. It's a place you settle for. Stop settling. You deserve more than being someone's emotional support animal while she dates other men. You deserve someone who looks at you and thinks, him, I want him. And the only way to find that person is to stop wasting time in the gray area. Be clear, be bold, be willing to lose. That's how you win. If this hit home, if you've been stuck in the friend zone and you're tired of it, comment the word done. One word. I want to see how many of you are ready to change.